Hey guys, what's up? Thought I'd try something a bit new, and let me know if you think this is a good idea, if you think this is going to be helpful for you. So what I thought I would do is, working through the rating ranges on chess.com, maybe like 100 point band at a time, I thought we'd look at some rapid games, and I'd pick 3 games at random from my chess.com friends and just comment on the game. So the idea is that what we're doing is we're looking out for, rather than me playing a 100 rated player, I'm going to look at games played between 100 rated players, or 100 to 200 for example, and then we'll move up as we go. So what we're looking for is patterns. What's the difference between a 100 to 200 versus someone in the 200s versus someone in the 300s, and so on. I think there's a lot that we can learn from that. So let me know what you think. So I haven't got the eval on, I haven't got lines on this, we're just going at it together as God intended. So first game, so my friend is M Wilson 303 and they're playing Jocelyn Tika, and they're both rated 135 after this game. So let's just dive straight in. We've got E4, we've got E5, perfectly good. We've got a Vienna from Jocelyn, and this is actually what I'm playing right now, knight c6. Okay, we've now got 3 knights. Well, it's the normally the 3 knights would be with knight f6, but it is a kind of 3 knights. Okay, we have the 4 knights opening, and the 4 knights opening, actually, I think it's one of these, it dwindles off in popularity. It's kind of more popular at the start with beginners, and then dwindles off throughout intermediate, and then gets more popular again quite significantly above 2000 on Lichess. And it is kind of potentially tricky, and there's lots of ways you can go. There's the 4 knights Scotch version, there's the Italian version, there's the Spanish. It comes in every Mediterranean flavour you would like. Actually, Scotch isn't technically Mediterranean, but it feels like the Mediterranean here. Okay, so this is a 4 knight Spanish, for what it's worth. And at this point, this could be 2 grandmasters. And black copies, follows suit. Okay, we have B3 from white. Now it's kind of tempting here already, maybe to think about taking the knight, because then this D pawn has to capture away from the centre, leaving, black dominant in the centre. That might be something I'd consider at this point. Black can also castle, which of course also can wipe. I don't think I'd kick the bishop at this point. So let's see what they do. Oh, is this going to go on all game? M Wilson 303. Okay, well no. Now finally stopped playing copycat, mirror your opponent's move. Generally not a good idea just to mirror your opponent's moves. Come on. When you're black, there are openings where if you just mirror your opponent's moves, suddenly you lose. I don't know what they are, but they exist. Okay, so H5 from black. Odd move this. I mean, why the pawn move, right? What is our job here? And especially, right, you've played pawn to b6. Why have you played pawn to b6? Well, I know the answer probably is because you copied what white did. You copied Jocelyn. Don't copy Jocelyn. Never copy Jocelyn. Right? The point is usually to put your bishop here and get it on this nice diagonal. This pawn move, I just don't really get. I mean, what's the idea at all? Okay, but anyway. Okay, d3 from white. That's a blunder, because he's just undefended his own knight. Right, so what just changed? Well, the knight is no longer defended. Yeah, the knight is pinned, fine, it can't move, fine, but what's defending it? Nothing. You take the knight. He doesn't do that, pushes another pawn. He's a pawn addict. Okay, this bishop now comes back. This is something you don't see as much as you climb through the ratings. Yeah, he's moved the developed piece a second time, but wait until you're, in fact he can't, Because the problem is, if he had waited for a6 and then he moves back, but then pawn takes. Actually, he's fine. Yeah. So the bishop didn't have to move back at that point. You can wait for this. Then if this, they push, they take. Black can't take back because he loses the rook. You see, that pawn would be pinned. But, you know, major blunder already on Black's part, not taking the knight. Okay, so anyway, the bishop moves up here for reasons that are not clear. Obviously, these pawns are guarding these squares, so it's not going to be easy to trap that bishop. I mean, I guess the idea is not really to say what I would play here. Okay, we have castles. So what was all this about? What's all this fannying about your pawns on this side, right? So these two moves, not only have they weakened that side of the board, particularly, you know, now that he can slam his knight there, he can shove his bishop up there. Whatever, he can shove his bishop there if he wants to. You know, why move these pawns? So you've weakened the area around your king where you were going to castle, and what you haven't done is developed your other pieces. Get your bishop out, you know, centralize your rook, that kind of thing. Those two pawn moves were. Oh, so white carries on preparing to fianchetto a bishop that isn't there and can't even get back there. Okay. So in general, so one thing that I would bear in mind, if you're in this like rating range, even sub 500, pawn moves are not just for Christmas, right? You cannot retract a pawn move. You can move a bishop, a knight, a queen, a rook, king, any other piece you can move back to where it came from, except a pawn. So pawn moves matter, right? He's just left a hole here as well. So if I was black now, I would be pushing d6 and I'd want to slam my bishop in there, which prevents white from castling because he can't castle through check. Right? You could also stick your bishop there and pin the knight. But, you know, just take advantage of this big Swiss cheese hole that he's made there. Good. Like that. Well done. That's okay, but nothing to worry about. Okay, queen e7. Yeah. Don't really do anything, but yeah. Okay. The knight is pinned. Right, this is attacked 3 times and defended not at all. And he's still missed the fact that this knight's hanging. So literally, if nothing else, M. Wilson 303, you need to get into the habit of just scanning the board. So what's defended? It's the goldfish method, right? So I'll show you what it is, right? That pawn's defended by the rook, that's defended by that, defended by that. You can do this very quickly once you get used to it. King defends that, defends that, defends that, that, the knight defends that, knight defends the bishop. Queen defends the knight. Obviously, technically, queen defends the king, but that doesn't really make sense. Who's defending that? No one. Right? It hasn't got any arrows pointing to it. Is it under attack? Yes. So please, now he's blocked it. Okay. Okay, but so what should white have done here after this? Just take the pawn. Probably, maybe. No, you can't take with the knight. Knight's pinned. Yeah, maybe take with the pawn. It comes to tempo on the knight. So again, black has just put his piece onto a square where it's attacked 3 times and not defended at all. So he's just given up a piece. Now white actually breaks the pin on the knight and defends it. Now we snatch that pawn. That's good. That's fine. Okay, we can't take here with the knight, so we've got an issue. The bishop is attacked now twice as well. God, it's kind of painful. Right, so our queen's under attack. So what are we going to do? This knight is also attacked twice. And you see, this bishop landing here, if black had left his pawns at home there, he could have just pushed a pawn. Right? And asked the question, put the question to the bishop. He could then maybe have done that and just protected his knight. But now he's got a serious problem. We're worried about that bishop. That bishop's attacked twice, defended once. This knight is attacked twice and defended once. So he takes a pawn. Right. Sorry. So now white can simply capture that. Oh, he's got 2 attackers. You don't take it with the queen because he's got knight takes, but that is a free piece. Knight takes bishop. If knight takes, we take the knight. We've won a free piece. And he doesn't do it. He's thinking, oh no, my queen. Very short-sighted, but you know, that's what you get. And now black blunders his queen by moving the knight. But I guess it doesn't really matter because he could do that if he takes, but so if he takes a queen, we've got that hitting the queen. Then I would just take the rook. So white is still, I think, better here. Okay, good. And now you have to take the pawn on c3. Oh no. Right, okay. Now the knight takes the bishop. This is simply just hanging stuff. But I would take this still. You're threatening the queen and the king and the rook. Please take it. What is your problem with taking on that square? There's been stuff. And what's this for? Why did you move your knight here? This bishop is undefended. Right, you've got to do this. You've just got to say what's defended, what isn't. You don't go, oh no, my knight's under attack, I better move it to safety. Well, you can do that. But before you make your mind up, have a look round. Just have a look round. It's undefended. There's nothing defending this thing here. Do it properly. Even better, I think, that move. Win some serious material. God, this is very unpleasant. Oh, for crying out loud. Take the bishop. Thank you. Right, yes, we've got knight takes knight, but then pawn takes knight. And we've lost it. Ha! Now, please take the knight with a royal fork. I'm begging you. I'm not going to be able to do this, guys. Okay. Okay, breathe. Breathe. The knight is undefended. And the royal fork from hell. Come on, people. Yeah, white's plan here is to move his rook from that square to that square. Take the knight. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, pawn takes pawn. I'm starting to lose the will. And Wilson. Take the damn rook. Okay, rook, fine. That's second best. But you know, you really have missed the big prize here. But then, you know, he's a 135 rated, and white spots and moves the knight. Very clever. Okay, we win a pawn back. Material is now equal. It was white was 5 materials up shortly, not long ago. Okay, so this is attack once, defended once. This is what I would do. Okay, but it's a passed pawn, and this is major trouble. This is brown alert here for white. So what you want to do is stick this rook here. You can't defend it with this rook because the bishop will take. If your opponent spots it, which is not guaranteed, but actually just snatching this bishop would be fine. That'd be a perfectly good idea, I think. But yeah, I think just get the rook behind the passed pawn. That is a principle. That is a chess principle. You've got a passed pawn, as in there's no pawns anywhere that are going to interfere with it. Therefore, it's only pieces that can stop it, right? Get a rook behind it. If not rooks, sometimes a queen. Oh my word. Okay, so he's just hung that. And now we trade. No, push. Push this. Push it one square. I guess queen here. Yeah. So right now the pawn's defended. Now that, yeah, the bishop's hanging. She takes the bishop. That's what I'm telling you. Move the Lord, give me strength. Okay, you want to move the knight away somewhere safe. The knight is under attack. Please tell me you've seen it. somewhere safe. Am I going crazy here? Even. What about this? Hit the queen and then come here, defended by the pawn with check. That would be great. This is fine. This is fine. We are 8 materials down at this point, being slightly short of a queen. But now if you push your pawn, the queen takes the rook. Push the damn pawn. You've just given up your rook. What? But the pawn! The fucking pawn! Don't stop. Why are you trying to sacrifice your rook? Right? If the pawn was here, you can sacrifice your rook, because if she takes that, you get a queen, and then the king has to move, and then you win that rook. Check. Good. White is the stronger player here in this game. No question about it. Take the knight. Okay. I don't know if I can do this. Okay, he moves there and then White abandons the game. Well, that was just awful. Wow, I didn't think. No. Anyway, so what have we learned? Rationally, come on. Take the emotion out of it, Benjamin. Scan the damn board. Right? What is hanging? Like your pieces and your opponent's pieces. Just that, I suspect, is enough to get you through. Okay, the idea of putting a rook behind a passed pawn, I appreciate that is not 100 level. Maybe we're talking 500, 400 and upwards, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that hurt. That hurt bad. It's mate and 2, isn't it? Here. There. If the king goes here, that's mate. There. If the king can't go there, yeah. That would be mate and 2. King goes... No, it's not. No, king goes here. Anyway. Oh, yeah. That was hard. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to another one. Okay, this is my chess.com friend Galaxy 4, rated 179. Playing against Death Delver, and I don't know the outcome of these games, right? We're all in this together. Okay, knight c3. Why not? c5. 2 knights out in the board. Okay. a3. This is very peculiar. I mean, nobody has gone for the centre. Right? We've had 5 turns, 5 goes. Nobody's put a pawn in the centre yet. But that's okay. You know, that does happen. You know, you could have, for example, c4, and somebody could go into like a Dutch. It does happen. Okay, bringing the bishop out. Is that premature? I don't know. Maybe it's acceptable. You should be thinking about castling as well. If you've got a plan. Obviously, the king's not going to that side of the board, so it might be a good idea to start shifting these guys. And, you know, nothing wrong with fianchetto that bishop and stick the knight there. But, you know, this is something. And the knight moves out the way. Didn't have to, because it's obviously it's defended by pawns. So he kicks the knight. We counterattack the bishop. Okay, this isn't the worst. Honestly, if black takes the knight here, where's black's king going to go? I know, I realise again this is more advanced, but this is the point, right? Here's the thing, from black's perspective, right? This knight is not a threat right now, right? The queen's not coming out anytime soon. She's still in. Yeah, she's just got out of the shower and is drying her hair. She's not even started to take a part in the game, right? So this is not a threat because you just take the knight. So this move very unnecessary, and it also, in fact, maybe h6 rather than f6 to kick the knight. Okay, so we've now we've created a diagonal towards our king. Well, black has. Okay, we kick the bishop. Good. Takes the knight, we take the bishop. Fair enough. I don't like black's pawns at all. And look at black's development. Well, you can't because it doesn't exist. Because there isn't any. He's moved one knight. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, no, that's white. No, he's moved his bishop, hasn't he? Yeah. He's moved his bishop out and lost it. And everything else has been pawn moves. Okay, we're contesting the c pawn. I mean, this isn't bad. You know, if he takes away from the centre, you take towards. That's okay. But again, there is a lack of development. I'm not entirely surprised to see this. Bishop b2. Fianchetto is still on. That's okay. What's black going to do? Don't move up. Oh, why? Why are you moving pawns? The point is, I want to show you something from black's perspective, right? Look at the squares that black's pieces are controlling. The knight is controlling that, okay, and technically this and this, right? The queen is also controlling this, this, this. This knight's controlling this one and this one, right? That's it. And the bishop's controlling that, you know. How many of those squares are in white's half of the board? None, right? Yeah, he's got a pawn controlling these two. That's it. Also, from white's perspective, look at this. 1, 2 squares on this side of the board. This bishop's doing nothing. This bishop is still boxed in. The queen is still boxed in. Right? After 7 moves, you should be starting to penetrate your opponent's side of the board. Control some squares. Prevent him from moving his stuff out. That's why we develop pieces. We don't develop pieces for the fun of developing pieces. We develop pieces so that we start to control the squares on the board. Right now there's a bunch of squares here that may not even be controlled at all. I'm not sure. Like that one, for example. No, not even black's controlling that one. Anyway. Okay, we push a pawn. Okay, he's taken away from the centre. You should now be thinking again. You know, you see all these pawn moves making it kind of hard to get your king safe, right? I would be thinking about that ASAP. Castling on time in a timely manner seems to be a thing. Don't keep moving your pawns. Stop it. Thank you. Yeah, you deserved that. Just moved your knight onto a square where it captured a pawn and gave away a knight. Okay, right, c4 with tempo. Okay, got it. Tempo meaning you gain time because now black has to play another move with his queen. Back she goes all the way home, right? But we're a piece down for a pawn. No, just no, right? It's about scope of your pieces, right? Where can this rook go from here? I tell you what, it can go backwards. That's it. You've just you've taken your rook and you've shoved it face first down a rabbit hole where it can't get any further, and all it can do is come back and retreat. Right, what would I have done here? Again, just get the bishop out and castle the king. Just castle the king, get a rook or a queen onto that e-file that's semi-open, as in there's no white pawns on it. But no, he does this. That's quite clever, actually. But again, the rook didn't need to be there. Well, oh, is that your idea? Is that your idea? You wanted to... No, you didn't put the rook there because you knew he was going to move that. Because then that. But I mean, it's quite clever. Right, so here, if the queen takes the bishop, takes and takes. But we have given up 8 points of material for a queen, which is worth about 9. Obviously, if pawn takes bishop, we take the rook. So, you know, some knowledge of tactics. Okay, no, it's okay. It's an in-between move. I understand it's an in-between move. Okay, the rook's still hanging. King moves. Take the rook. This, right here, right, is undefended. Look. No one's defending it. Take the damn free stuff. Free stuff. And these are rapid games, guys. These guys got 10 minutes each on their clock. Take it now. Thank you. Okay, bishop attacks rook. I think we should move the rook, don't you? Okay, good. Pinning the bishop. Now we're getting somewhere. king steps out of the pin. But look at this situation. Black's position is horrible. White's position is quite horrible. But at least, you know, I think, you know, if White's king gets there, get the bishop out somehow, you know, the rooks maybe, actually both rooks may be on there, or probably go for this. You want to improve that queen. That's not, queen's not fantastic, but don't know. What? That, okay, again. Why shall I move my pawn there? It's attacked once, twice, 3 times from the lady. And push the pawn again now to d5. Right? Because you've now completely overrun. Now you're attacked 4 times, right? You're attacked 4 times. Push it. Hit the knight. Oh, that's okay. I like that. That's a that's a tricky one. So you're kind of tempting black maybe to think, oh, like I'll best capture the pawn, because it's a discovery on the queen. So not a bad idea at all. To please take the queen. If you don't take the queen, thank you. Yes, you took her. Okay, now we're just completely winning. They take the rook. Okay. Now what we want to do is simplify. But you need to do it by getting the queen in the game. So I think we start by capturing at least this pawn. Then you can either take that pawn, you can come here, attacking the king and the rook, king and the knight. Good. Okay, snatches a pawn back. We're not too worried about this. Okay, so free pawn, or again, this hits the king and this pawn here on g5. Free pawn, fair enough. He snatches another free pawn. Black isn't going to solve his problems by snatching pawns. And by the way, now got 2 attackers on this now, so that's mate in 2. Yeah, takes, forced, checkmate. Don't go to this square because knight takes. You could even, yeah. So yeah, take the bishop first. Please do it. Please say you do it. Okay, take it with the rook. That's fine because this is still checkmate. Queen here is still mate. And he doesn't spot it, so queen f7. That I don't want to do this anymore. It was mate in 1. It was mate in 1. You just put the queen in front of the king. Okay. Oh, get the rook at least. Oh! Jesus wept. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. I thought this was going to be... I thought this was going to be like informative and educational, and it's just torture. Okay. Take the rook. With a pawn. I don't care what you take it with. Thank you. Okay. But now knight takes pawn and hits the queen. Queen attacks knight. Take the knight. Simple. Yay! Right, tell me that white wins this game. Booyaka! Okay, but you can see the difference actually between the 179 and the 130s, you know, but it still hurts. Make it stop. Yeah, what have we learned from that one? I mean, almost a complete disregard for the importance of castling and pawn structure. This temptation to be pushing pawns just because a pawn move is not a cheap move. That's what you have to get your head around. A pawn move should be carefully considered, right? Because they are irreversible. Piece moves can be revoked, right? Pieces move, they probe, they dodge, they duck, they dive, they move around, they change, you know, they move around the board, trying to find a weakness as you get stronger. Just stop it with the completely unnecessary pawn moves, and just follow the opening principles. Control the centre, right? Get your minor pieces out and castle your damn king. Maybe this game will redeem everybody. This is Math Chess from the US. rated 211, playing somebody rated 338. Okay, so we're getting a bit higher at my range, but I haven't got that many chess.com friends in this range. And we start with knight c3 again. Okay, queenside fianchetto, d4, thank you, putting a pawn in the centre. This is the centre, guys, and it's important. So we've put a pawn in there, we've got a piece there, and we're controlling this square. And this knight controls this square and this square. Very different to the last game. Already on move 2, I'm happy. Okay, knight comes here. It's attacking the pawn. Is the pawn defended? Yes. Calm down, Benjamin. Okay, so this is like a Jabava London, right? These three moves. You can do the knight, the bishop, whatever order you want. Okay, and now e6. So the general idea here is to throw the knight here and try and go do that, because that is a fork on the king and the rook. That's like idea number 1 in the Jabava London. So white doesn't do that, he plays knight f3, but again, which is a very, very respectable move. It's extra double defending this pawn, which is attacked once, right? Queen also defends. It's also controlling this square in the center. This also controls this square in the center, your bishop, right? So white is playing fine, black is playing fine. Black's now throwing his queen out on the board. I don't approve of this. You know, I'd be looking at a move like bishop g5 now, and then the queen can't retreat, and she's stuck out in the board. What did I say? Develop your minor pieces first. What are your minor pieces? The horses and the butt plugs. Okay? Your major pieces is herself and your rooks. Right? They generally, usually play a part later on. Okay, queen d2. I see the point. I see the idea. Defending the bishop. Maybe even preparing to castle long. That's okay. But the bishop could look after itself by moving here with tempo against the queen. Because it's not a move lost, because it's with tempo. So you get the move back, because black has then to spend a move figuring out where he's going to put his ladyship. This is an inferior one because black has the option at least of knight takes, which he indeed does. Now I would probably take with the knight here. Okay, we take with the pawn. It comes with tempo at least. There the queen moves. Now we might be thinking about ideas like this. That would hang the g2 pawn. I might even just castle now, actually. Also knight h4 hits the queen and defends the g2 pawn. That's very often a nice little move. Okay, e4. It's defended by the knight only. But it is, again, it's occupying central square. So you can see that we're starting to just see some principles being applied. Knight h6, goofy for sure. Might prompt h3 because you think, well, where's that knight going to go? That's what I think. I see that knight move, and the first thing I look at is where can it go? Okay, where does he go? Where does he go now? Right, he doesn't go there. Hi, where do you go? He could go here, attacking this pawn which is defended. He could go here and then you kick him, though. That's also an option. Okay, that's the move I mentioned. It's a perfectly fine move. The queen's got 3 safe squares. There's one of them. Now bishop e2. Oh no, because the knight's hanging. So maybe this. Yay! Look at this. Me and Mathma chess. Okay, and we hangs pawn. Okay. This pawn on a7 is hanging now. See, the point of this pawn move, I just don't. I would castle here. Because what I'd be saying to myself is, what's his idea? Does he want to push this and knock my knight away? And when my knight is forced to move, queen can take here. And that embarrasses the rook. So I don't think that's going to help. What? Right? You remember the conversation we just had about getting your minor pieces out into the board? What's this? Oh, he's defending the pawn. Oh, bless. Okay. Well, if you want to defend the pawn, put the rook back there and get your bishops out on the board. Right? And castle your king like you're meant to in chess. It's move 12. You can complete development in 9 moves in chess. Okay, hit the queen. Back she goes. E5, hit her again. Hit her again. Hit me, baby, one more time. Also, dude, you've got 2 attackers on this pawn. Just saying. Okay. Now we can't push the pawn, can we, guys? Because we saw this in the first game, didn't we, guys? And then the knight hangs, doesn't it, guys? Do you remember? But it's, you know, obviously capturing the free stuff is optional, even if it comes with check and a fork on a rook, winning the game. Actually, to be fair, the king could come off the back rank and then the rook would be defended. Why? Because white's moved all his minor pieces off the back rank. Okay. Now he's kind of having a probe at this one, but he's not really, because he can't take because knight defends. The knight's also pinned though. Yeah. So I would castle my king. What? No. I'm sorry. I have to say something. Right? Sorry. This knight is in a pin. Absolute pin. Right? So the knight cannot move because you'd be putting yourself in check, which you're not allowed to do. It's illegal. So I just said I would castle my king, getting it out of the way, and you think, oh, I think I'd like to put my rook on f1. Really? Do people at the sub 250 not know that you're allowed to castle? I don't believe that. Castle. Anyway. So now he's attacking the defender of a2, which is under attack. And if the queen comes here, this rook could be in trouble, because the knight's not going to be there anymore. Right? Because he's not castled. If he'd castled, the rooks would be joined together, defending each other. Yeah. Okay, king comes off the back rank. But this was all unnecessary. Okay, just push the pawn. Right, no, I don't like this because it's weakening. And look, out comes a bishop. And then what are you going to do? You're going to go back on the back rank. Right? In fact, you have to go here, because if you go here, I think that's checkmate. Push the pawn. You make use of this. This is now a blockage, making that queen look really stupid because she's no longer in the game. So you want to keep this here. You want to put that pawn there. That's what you want to do, right? Use this pawn as a human shield. You do not take it. Having that pawn there is better for white. Okay. And this bishop's going to come flying out. Please, you know, I'm sure of it. Mr. DV Momo is 338 rated. Come on, bishop. Do you know what this is like? This is like, you know, people play with their little laser pen things and the cats just go like that. Yeah? You can keep a cat busy for ages with that. This is what it's like. It's like, oh, look, pawn moves. Oh, I better snatch it. Like a cat. When you had this move. Boom. There, and the king has to go here. And I'm not sure what the follow-up is, but it ain't pretty. Something like this, get the rook involved. Black should be absolutely winning here, and the reason is because white didn't follow basic opening principles. I mean, black hasn't followed basic opening principles either, but white's followed them worse, if that makes any sense. Please, what? In the opening of the game, you want to get your minor pieces out into the board, control the centre, and castle your king. That's it, okay? Just 3 things, 3 little things to remember. It's not too hard. He's defending his pawn. Okay, we're attacking the queen. Moves back with check. Why is our king out in the open like this? It's completely unnecessary. Yeah, you could have thought of that earlier. No, nothing. No idea. Okay, attack the queen again. Please take the queen. Yes, we win! Rah! We win a game for somebody over 100 points high rated. Okay, what have we learned? Oh, opening principles. All of these problems are stemming from not following the opening principles. It really is that important. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And literally spotting hanging stuff, like, you know, make your more sophisticated tactics. I do not expect somebody sub 250 to find. I really do not. But seeing what's capturable, immediately capturable, like undefended pieces that you are attacking, i.e. hanging pieces, maybe that's what it takes to get to 200, 300. I don't know. But times like this when I regret not drinking, because I could do with a large whiskey right now. But yeah, guys, particularly if you are at the beginner level, and I apologize if I've made anyone feel bad, because that is not my intention. You know, I am trying to help here. It is just genuinely distressing to endure. Okay. But yeah, the opening principles, the hanging pieces, that's all you need to think about, right? And then just crack on, enjoy yourself. It's a game after all. Sometimes I don't feel like it, but it is a game. Okay, so anyway, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me work up the 200 to 300, etc, etc, etc. If you think it's helpful, let me know. If you think it sucks, let me know. Thanks for watching. See you later.